Good morning. Just want to show everybody full walkthrough on the land just to see all the progress and everything that's been done. Just take you on a little tour. So I'm going to go to my left to try and show you everything first. So walking down the driveway, and take this kind of fast so you're not waiting around too long. But walking down the driveway, the driveway was put in last year and it came out great. I love all the rock and stone. There's tons of rock and stone up here naturally. Right here to the right is actually hard to see, but this is where the pond is fed continuously with a spring, which you'll see later in the video. But yeah, there's tons of rock naturally in this dirt. So our excavator Frank just pulled out a lot of it and really just nicely planted it along the driveway. Really strong driveway with this packed clay. It's just came out really awesome. So this is up here is a little gate that I made out of a old boat sail. It's aluminum, so I figured it'd be great to use. It won't rust. And kind of chopped off some pieces and put them on here. And it's affixed just with a carabiner, just to kind of have something to show that there's a driveway here and do not enter kind of thing. So this big giant rock is the start of our trail. So you can see we've made some trail signs to kind of signify where to go. As you enter this trail, and you see we've kicked a lot of the wood to the side to kind of align the trail. And you come up to the right here, and Molly's been hard at work here with her little mini golf course. She painted these signs and then aligned all these rocks. And she has one or two holes here. She has two holes and little obstacles and things that she's built. Over to the left here is Erin's Nook. So she made this sign. It says Erin's Nook. Over here she's made a little stage. So this rock was perfect. She put some stones around it. This is her stage area. Stacked some rocks. She has a couple gnomes down here hanging out. I guess they fell over. Maybe a little animal came to hang out here. Not sure. But she stashes things in here sometimes. That's her little shelving system. But as you walk down the main path, maybe eventually we'll throw some cedar chips down here just to define this a little better. You see, you come to this main tree and it's got another trail sign pointing us to our right towards the pond. Planted a lot of grass seed in here and it looks like it's taken, so we'll see how that grows in. It's actually annual grass seed that I have left over, so I don't know if it'll come back unless it reseeds itself. We shall see. This is some weird hunting cabin, not hunting, I don't know what, some weird hunting shack. There's weird cushions in there. I gotta get rid of this thing, but it's a project for another day. All right, so we come down the path to the pond, and you can see to our right here is the giant stone path that we're going to walk over later, that Frank put in, and it's just amazing. This area was just filled with maybe I'll walk over it right now. So this area was really soggy and you couldn't really walk through here without sinking into the mud. So he put these large boulders in here, and he actually made one of them like a bridge. So this is the stream fed area. He made a bridge out of this gigantic boulder. But the spring is continuously flowing, pushing fresh water into the pond. So yeah, this thing's amazing. So yeah, it's just way too soggy through here from all the water flowing down the mountain. But this bridge, or all these rocks, get you straight to kind of like a dry land area. So I'm gonna keep walking around the pond just to show you. All right, so I don't know if you hear those frogs, but we're coming up to an area around the pond where they just constantly jump in while you're walking, and they freak me out. Here's a gigantic cherry tree. The forest, there's another sign telling us to go around the pond. But the Forest Service came and walked the property and talked through a lot of these trees, but said, yeah, this is a very large cherry tree on basically on the maybe on the decline in the next 10 years. So, but he said, yeah, it's a healthy tree. So as you walk around the pond, this path was widened. Frank widened this to be 7 feet wide all the way around and leveled it all off. It was leaking off the back corner over here. The pond would just constantly leak off the back corner. And Frank came in and kind of raised everything up with this like clay, kind of like the same dirt. So it's very hard packed dirt or clay. So I expect that should, fill in and pack it in for many years to come, and we shouldn't have any more leaks. So I love all the foliage or the different plants around here. They're just very native to this area, and every single one, throughout the seasons grows and flowers differently. So I just love seeing all that. I expect over time, after everything grows in, a lot more of these wildflowers will take place, and yeah, we should be looking a little nicer. But once you're on the back side of the pond, this is the view out the back. And over here, there's an old apple tree right there, and another one like right here. Hard to see, but I am curious if they're going to start producing fruit. I think that one over there is producing fruit. That's a maple tree of sorts. I don't know which one, but it's got really nice red leaves in the spring or fall. All right, so walking around. So again, this whole path is about 7 feet wide. Just love all these wildflowers growing. I don't know what this big stalk yellow thing wildflower is, but it's cool. But even in here, you get in real close and you can see some of these cool wildflowers that are growing in here. Just don't know what all the names are. It's going to be a project for another day. But walking around back here, all right, so here's where the trail kind of leads you back into the woods. So I'll go back there a little bit. We haven't quite finished up the trails there, but I'll take you through there. And these wildflowers are awesome. I think they're like goldenrod or something, I don't know, but I do like those ones. So walking back through this trail, we need to define this path a little more. These trees that are flagged right here, one of them's a red maple and one of them's a sugar maple, but those are kind of throughout the property as well. As you walk through here, if you can hear that, but we're walking alongside this stream, and ideally over the coming years we're going to kind of clear out the side of this stream, just kind of kick a lot of this debris to the side so you can walk a little closer to the stream. So it's really nice to hear. So as you're walking through, this is kind of where you get into like I don't know what it's called, pine or some sort of spruce, but we made this little bridge out of the sugar shack wood a little while ago. Cleared a lot of these branches out. We kind of made this path, so we cleared this path alongside the stream. As you can see, there's another trail marker right here. All right, and the trail marker leads over the bridge my friends built for me. I stacked a bunch of rocks right here to try and make a waterfall, and it looks like it's doing nice. Right now it's kind of trickling, but in the like spring, it really flows over here and makes a really nice waterfall. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, this is basically where we got the trail to, but we kind of haven't finished it back in the woods. There's a lot more to do back there. So I'm just gonna walk back out of the woods and get back to the pond. Kind of reverse course here. All right, so over to the spillway. So when we first got the property, the spillway over here was two like 4-inch pipes. So that was just not enough for this size of pond. So Frank recommended 12-inch or 10-inch pipes, and he installed this awesome little stone wall for the 2 culverts. So these culverts are 10-inch culverts, and basically are perfect for right here. They're kind of hidden a little bit in these reeds, but at the same time, you could see them when you're swimming in the pond. And they're just a cool little feature with the stone work that he did here. It came out great. So yeah, the only one thing I gotta watch out though is the beavers sometimes come in and they try and dam these up. And the beavers try and kind of mound up dirt or mound up debris right in front of here to dam it up. So I gotta just keep a watch. So over here is where the culverts spill out and kind of just make a little stream out to the main stream. All right, so over here, a lot of this was left untouched because this foliage is pretty amazing. All kinds of wildflowers yet to bloom, lots of ferns, and these ferns get huge. So they're really cool to see. I'm going to talk about this area staked out in a little bit, but I just want to come over to this one flower. It's like one of my favorite flowers that shows up here. It's these purple ones. I think they almost looks like some sort of milkweed or something, but it's like poppy weed or something like that. But it's so cool to see all the purple mixed in here with the yellow. These ones have yet to really bloom, but when these yellow ones take place, it just comes out so nice in this back corner here. And I'm glad this back corner could be left untouched as we did all this excavation work, because there's a lot of plants in here that would take a long time to reestablish. So I'm excited about that. All right, so now the wildflower area. As you can see, this whole area is staked out. This area has been planted with the Northeast Showy mix from Ernst, and a ton of seed has been kind of planted in here. All the plants that you see planted here are all this milkweed that we got from Monarch Watch. So Monarch Watch donated 146 plants, and we kind of put them all in here about 15 feet apart or so. But they're doing great. Like, I was so worried they're going to dry up and not thrive here, but they're actually, the color of it is changing. The stems are changing since we've planted it, and they look to be just thriving in here. So you see a lot of these plants kind of popping up. And so it's a mix of common milkweed, butterfly milkweed, and swamp milkweed. So So even this, like, they just change in color. I guess it's maybe the pH in the soil or something, but it's just cool to see that they're just doing great. So very excited to see how all this stuff grows in. But this whole staked out area is our wildflower garden that we're just not going to mow or keep untouched, and just kind of marked it off to say that this is purposeful. We put a little signage here just to show that this area was purposely kind of planted like this, and just a little bit about it. So coming over here to our new fire pit area, we have yet to kind of really mark it off with stone and whatnot, but we have 5 Adirondack chairs and just the stone wall left over from the sugar shack. So we left one of the walls standing just as a nice landscape feature and to mark off the wildflower area versus what's going to be mowed. So this whole area is going to be mowed. But yeah, this will be hopefully a nice little fire pit area, kind of away from the main kind of living area or hangout area, but a little area, another section to hang out in. So I'm just going to come across the property over to the dock just to take a quick tour. So we decided to start leaving the boat out there. So it seems like a good place to kind of leave it, so we don't have to lug it as far. We used to leave it up by the sugar shack, but so just coming out onto the dock here and see the sun reflecting off the water. But this is it. Just full circle.